Should we put on Christmas stuff real quick? I just
no.
Yeah, you should.
Fuck no. For a couple of months. Oh no, mixed nuts.
Yeah.
Welcome to Burn After Watching.
Welcome.
We watched a Steve Martin comedy Christmas that
that we never had heard of because we found out why we've never heard of it.
But also this had Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah, just pull that up.
Just Adam, Madeline fucking Kahn.
I know.
Who was
she looked great
in this movie. Juliette Lewis is in this. Rob Reiner is in this.
Rob Reiner doing his jokes.
Fake McDreamy, Anthony LaPaglia is in this.
Yep.
Liev Schreiber's in this.
Yeah, it was his first movie.
Mrs. Tom Hanks, Rita Wilson, guys.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right? COVID survivor. Parker Posey and Jon Stewart are in this.
Yes. Oh my God.
I did not notice to the last scene they were in. I was like, oh.
No, it was great.
That's who those people are. Holy fuck.
Juliette Lewis just being a bitch like she always is.
Guys, Gary Shaw.
Maybe not in real
life.
Oh wait, really
I did think of a movie, and I don't mean that in real life. She's probably a wonderful person, but she always plays that character. And then I realized she did play the girl and the other sister, where she's mentally handicapped and she's a nice person.
Oh, she's a bitch in that too.
It's like Happy Jack. I got you. Flying Embers, guys. This is the pineapple chili hard kombucha.
Oh yeah, pineapple chili, gross.
Remember the first we had these was not of this particular series, but the hard kombucha was terrible. This is actually pretty good.
Oh, I like that. I'm a big fan of those flavors though, so that's
it's good together.
Anthony LaPaglia looking like a fucking baby. I mean, Jesus.
100%.
Yeah. And Rob Reiner just being himself. All the pillows, women and their pillows.
I get so many ladies in sports cars.
Yeah,
he was trying out like a whole joke set. I was like, okay, all right.
But when we did start this, I gotta preface this with we watched some really shitty low production movies recently, for this. So I literally wrote
name at least 5.
I literally wrote that I was like, I can feel the production value washing over me. Like there are people in this movie. They have some music for this movie. They have a location.
This movie was fucking trope-tastic.
The music was
in the best way, but also
This was very early '90s flick.
Yeah, I think it's 95. I think maybe right.
94.
Yeah. So I love how the first thing they totally set up is the yuppies, rollerblading yuppies versus the hippies. She's like a super hippie with a hippie store, and he's running around in a Santa Claus costume, and they're all just fighting. They're just and they're just fighting. Just seem like the most miserable goddamn people together.
She's like the least chill hippie of all time.
But then you got Steve Martin just riding through Southern California.
And he's like,
and he's down there's a beach there. He's got the bike going. He's got a little suit on. He's got a lot of hair dye in.
Yeah.
A lot of hair dye in, very noticeable hair dye in.
Yeah.
Holy shit, don't even
just let it go, dude. Just let it go. I think that was one of the last movies, and then they were just like, let's be done now. Yeah.
And you could just see the hair dye's not really taking it. Okay, that's fine. And then, of course, the tropes you see in Southern California, people rollerblading while holding a Christmas tree, things like that,
Yeah.
Played by Jon Stewart and Parker Posey.
So good. So good.
Which, I want to say Jon Stewart's best acting role to date.
No, have you seen The Faculty? Obviously, we have to watch
I have seen The Faculty.
Yes, we do have to watch The Faculty.
Yeah.
This will definitely be on the show. That's also where we started singing the Harvey Danger song, of course.
It was in the trailer 85
Wasn't he
times.
also in that what the frick was it? The
Daily Show.
That one.
Yeah,
the Daily Show.
I don't think he was in that. I think that was Craig Kilborn, right?
Greg motherfucking Kilborn. Another person lost to time.
Oh, Death to Smoochie. Yeah, he was in Death to Smoochie.
You are right.
Sure
He wasn't
was.
Death to Smoochie.
See?
He was.
What?
Another movie we'll
seriously.
The music was
sorry, fun fact, that's one of Jamie's favorite movies.
Death to Smoochie.
That makes sense. So we have to have a round for that.
Makes sense.
You heard
guys,
Jamie, no you didn't hear it.
This music was 1,000 times better than the last movie.
Oh, I mean, because it had actual Brendan Christmas music that was good.
It was okay, I was already into it just
and that British, the fucking British
whatever that.
Hey, it's Christmas! Hey, it's Christmas! 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 And what the
Christmas,
fuck?
sometimes you kill people, I think.
What the fuck is... This is why there's murderers in Britain killing people. They're hearing this music, it's so bad.
And then it's it's shopping, Christmas time shopping at Christmas time shopping. What?
Wow, who wrote this song?
Yeah.
A baby?
Yeah.
So... It was really good. Just as, it was a breath of fresh air to see famous banjo player Steve Martin's face, like right in the beginning of this. I was already like, okay, I can do this. It's got to be bad because no one's ever heard of it, but it can't be that bad because Steve Martin's in it, right?
Right, and then you get your other characters and you're like, okay, Gary Shandling's the bad guy. Go figure. No way.
Well, it's fine with that.
But is he the bad guy, or is he just consequently there?
Well, he's just kicking everybody out. He's like,
but it's not like he comes back at all until.
And also his
he's
name.
A catalyst for the plot,
his name is.
Yeah, he's basically
his name is Stanley Tannenbaum.
Yeah, oof. When he said Tannenbaum, I was like, oof. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it, writers. I get it. I get it. Nora Ephron, I get it, because you're the one who wrote and directed this, Nora Ephron. I get it.
Is she married to Zac Efron? I just assume that was his mom.
Zac Efron's mom.
I just assume.
I don't know. Is it?
She's written a lot of romantic movies, like a lot of lady.
Well, not in this one.
Movies.
Nope. This one did not
This
work.
one was Oh yeah. Starting right from the beginning,
she's 71 years old, so she's probably not Zac Efron's mom.
We're starting right from the beginning. We get the old fruitcake joke.
Oh, there's
Fruitcake.
so many tropes, like tropey jokes, and I was like, ooh boy.
That was a very late 80s, early 90s thing.
And I feel like this, and like you said early 90s, but I feel like this is more, like it felt more 80s to me. I actually thought, like at first, and then I saw the hair dye, I was like, no, this was definitely the 90s. Like, but it felt like very 80s references. Like the movie's just like, here's the formula, we set it up, look at this. Oh, hey, the lights went out. I guess we'll have someone falling over.
It feels like something that 80s Rob Reiner would have written.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe that's why he loved being in the movie or something. Or maybe he's like one of the exec producers.
This is my kind of movie.
It's a lot of slapstick and
but not necessarily funny slapstick.
No, yeah.
Plus a lot of like gay jokes and like
Were there a lot of gay jokes?
I guess
I thought it was
like,
pretty forward.
It's actually surprisingly forward thinking.
Yeah, I thought it was.
But there was the like Malin
when he
like
first
slightly
comes
homophobic
in, yeah.
as well.
Oh, also when I wrote this in, what did he say?
Yeah, so Lev Schreiber's character is a. I don't want to assume what this character is, but it was definitely like a male.
I think transgendered. I think it was transgender. Yeah. No, Dad says, "Who is this?"
We just call him Arnold.
Yeah, like, is this Arnold?
His dead name, like call him by his dead name, basically.
Okay, I was like, what?
Yeah, I think it was transgendered.
Yeah.
She was transgender because she actually said that was her pronoun at one point.
But the only one that acknowledges that pronoun is Adam Sandler's character.
No. I called it. Can I just say I called it?
That was funny.
When they came, like when I saw him first in the film, and then when he came in later at the party, I'm like, he's gonna end up with a transgendered woman. So I was happy for that. I was like, oh, called it, and yeah, go for it. Why not?
Did you think when Adam Sandler came in, like, just do what you've been doing, early '90s Adam Sandler, and he's like, okay,
that's why he was cast in this movie. There's no other reason.
I mean, I have to say, it's Adam Sandler, just complete idiot face. Like, that's basically what he is, you know? But then he has some depth. He's like, oh, you know, who are you? Like, I'm gonna get to know you a little.
Yeah, but depth was like to close an arc. It wasn't like depth, like,
yeah,
I really care about the character.
He was probably the friendliest character on the show. Cool. Like, as characters with.
I just want to say, as much as Juliette Lewis's character, I couldn't stand it. I was fucking loving her hippie decor. That's like my jam, like the inside of her house and like all the clothes and everything. I was loving it. Actually, the dress that she puts on Rita Wilson, I'm making a replica of that dress because that's how much I fell in love with it. Like, I really liked that dress. So, this movie did give me that, at least, I can say. Oh yeah, so the girlfriend, he calls the girlfriend, or she calls him, and she's like, I wanted to fax you. She was gonna fax him to break up with him.
Yeah, I was like, what? I guess that's the jokes in the room.
I love how she's like, I didn't want to do this in person. I wanted to fax. What?
No, she said, I didn't want to do it over the phone.
Oh, right.
She's like, oh, it's going to be more personal. It's like, no one to fax. No. I was like, ooh.
We didn't really get into the plot of this movie, the crux.
Oh, sorry.
So, Steve Martin runs like a failing suicide helpline.
Mm-hmm.
Crisis hotline.
He has a crisis hotline, but really it's all like people that sound like they're about to commit suicide. And he's running this failing thing, and really, he's really good at doing the phone stuff, but he's not really good at doing the people stuff.
Right.
He's an asshole.
Yeah. He's an asshole. A fucking dick. Like, I'm like, okay.
And he doesn't really change. Like, he does like one nice thing, but he doesn't really change otherwise during the movie.
No. And, you know, jokes ensue because there are so many jokes about suicide in this movie. Like, that's the thing, really, that probably...
I think what helped with the suicide thing helps because it gets darker, like in the third act, and you're like, oh, okay, and like it helped you like kind of soften it where it would have been very surprising if it had been more lighthearted, I think, with the jokes. But like by that time, like, geez, they're joking about suicide. Oh wow,
like all of them, and they work there.
Fruitcake jokes are tight.
Well, the first time you see Steve Martin's character too, like he has like that good interaction where he's trying to break up the fight, and you're like, okay. He seems to be fine doing this in person. First of all, when you hear about later, it's like I can't do this in person. Like he did it in person the first scene.
But also he says, "This is my business. My business is helping people. That's why he's doing it."
Yeah,
my business is helping people. I'm like, okay, it didn't really give me anything. But then it was completely contradicted later in the thing. So I was like, oh, okay. Now I'm getting all. Woo.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, but they ruined that yuppie's tree too in the beginning too. They said you ruined my tree. It's absolutely symmetrical.
That was the funny part. They just kept riding by with that tree, and then they hit the tree, guys. I was like, oh, so good.
No.
Oh, that Felix.
So, you guys, do you remember why the movie's called Mixed Nuts? Other than it's a bunch of crazy people all together?
No, because they yell it out at one point.
Because his dad was run over by a truck carrying mixed nuts.
Yeah, I literally wrote mixed nuts credits roll.
I wrote at one point, this movie is bipolar. It goes between manic and depressive moments. It literally does. Because a character will be talking about like their like sad life and how hard it is and like how they're going through some really crazy shit.
They get hit in the face with a rake or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what the fuck is happening here?
I think it would have been funnier if the lady got stuck in the elevator the whole fucking time. That would have been like in the beginning when she stuck in the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
They should have just left her the whole time. She was trying to get out.
But that would have been a waste of Madeline Kahn's talent.
It's true because she was amazing. Yeah, still a treasure. I wrote in here. I was kind of excited to see the slapstick. Honestly, we hadn't really seen anything like this in a while. I was enjoying that a little bit.
There's gonna be slapstick.
Yeah.
There's a lot of not funny stuff. There's a lot of bad pacing in this movie. I can see why it was not a big deal, a non-entity when it came out.
Sorry. I just needed to get
How
something
dare you.
cold.
Guys, we had a fun gag though with Hispanic perverts. I mean, like
Sure.
phone perverts.
So somebody doing Cheech and Chong voice.
Yeah.
Like they brought that back too many times. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Here we
It's
go.
not, yeah.
Okay, got it.
I wrote in here, Gracie is a fucking bitch. Like, her character never grows on me throughout this movie. I'm like, why, at the dinner party, I'm like, why is she here? Like, she just shows up at the workplace. Like, what are you doing here? Like, what's going on?
And like she lives there or something too. Like she's very casual and you're like,
yeah,
this is a business.
Seriously.
Oh, I thought she was the sister.
She was friends with Rita Wilson.
I thought she was sister. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Why she she just knew her from somewhere. Like, what the fuck is she there then?
Friends. Yeah, I was like, okay.
Well, she met them at couples counseling.
Wow.
I'm like, cool. And Rita Wilson's character was like, I'm vanilla ice cream that will fall in love with the main character. I was like,
oh my god.
And they did not have chemistry.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. You know who did have chemistry though? Liv Schreiber.
Adam Sandler and Liv Schreiber.
And Steve Martin. Wow. I thought it's a great chemistry.
I like theirs. That whole thing was funny. It was definitely forward for the time. You know.
Oh my god. 100%.
So I was like, okay, I'm okay with this.
I wrote in here, so by the end of this, you want the Seaside Strangler to strangle all of them. Like, you get to a point where they're just all so terribly annoying.
And so they introduced the Seaside Strangler as like a thing. Totally forgot about that. And so like the reveal at the end, I was like,
yeah.
Oh yeah. It wasn't like I was like, oh. I was like,
so it was okay. He died because he was the Seaside Strangler.
Because you're a woman. Can you talk about like women and pillows for a little bit? Like, just tell us like why they like the pillows.
Yeah. So we were both talking about that. The Rob Reiner joke. Like, it was ridiculous.
It was like a please take my wife take joke. You know, like. So he's like, oh, what's with the
have
women
nothing to
and
do
the
with
pillows?
The movie. He's just like, pillows and this woman and the pillows. Yeah, so let's see. I wrote, by the end of this, everyone's going to have a concussion because literally everyone got hit in the head at some point.
Slapstick.
Yeah.
And they're also a fruitcake that can break windshields.
Apparently. So half an hour into the movie, you find out that their power sometimes doesn't work, which comes into play for like 10 minutes in the movie, and then it never does again.
They like to just move like a random MacGuffin into there.
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay.
Then you think, okay, Seaside Strangler, maybe it's gonna some of us strangle them. There's nothing.
Oh my god, these are hot. Yeah, so that whole dance scene though between Liv Schreiber and Steve Martin was fantastic. Liv Schreiber killed it in this movie. Like, he really probably was the star of this movie.
So, do you think Liv Schreiber, there was, like, his cadence and everything, it sounded like he was stage acting the whole time. Like, he was on a stage. Because, like, he was very much
looking
like,
pretty
now
hot,
I'm acting out to you, and
Yeah.
He was looking pretty hot, though. I was like...
Well, I think almost that, like, it was his first movie, and I almost think it comes into play, too, that, like, that's the character that he's stepped into.
I actually really like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it felt like he was doing like a stage play where even like how he was sitting, like sitting and like kind of facing.
I think his character was he was trying too hard, which was perfect for the character. It's supposed to be this person who's trying too hard to be accepted as a woman, and nobody's gonna do that, especially in 90s.
But also, you're
California.
right. No, and I love that, part of him was vulnerable, but then part of her was also, like, knew herself very well, and, like, knew what to tell other people, like, had very, like, set opinions. I love that. So, yeah, at one point, Steve Martin, like, clearly ogles... Oh, so this is after she gets the dress on. Like, Gracie gives her a whole makeover, and she goes back for the dinner party, and he, like, straight up all of a sudden is sexually interested in her. It's super gross.
Well, also because Madeline Kahn says, "Oh, she's loved you since the first day she got here."
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Which everyone we've known for the whole fucking
Yeah, you
movie
could tell. It was like so obvious.
Well, because she literally like when the girlfriend raised her, she's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Whoa, Jesus, fucking Christ!"
She's like rubbing her stuff, and it's like, "Whoa, okay, we got it. Okay, we got how this is supposed to end now."
Yeah. Okay. I get it.
So. Then, but also Adam Sandler is in love with Rita Wilson's character. Oh, what's her name? I don't think I actually put it in here. I just wrote in Rita Wilson the whole time.
Somewhere.
It's Rita Wilson. Catherine.
Oh, God. Right. How could I forget that name?
With a C or a K.
First with a K, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean.
Forgot my own goddamn name. Okay, so, she gets all made over, and he's interested in her, and they have, like, a romantic interlude in the bathroom. Right.
Well, after they had murdered a person.
Yeah.
That's when she got all weird
shock.
Like she got like weird.
I literally he fucks the shock out of her.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Clearly.
Steve Martin.
I feel like that's a form of rape.
Leading man.
No, it was. She was definitely like that. Was not an okay scene. So she goes in, she's freaking out. He comes in, and they start making out, and then they end up like literally right next to the toilet. I think that was the most disturbing part of the movie.
Where the pee falls.
Not they just murdered a person.
Yeah.
No, that was cool.
Both. Yeah, no.
Hygiene, dude.
It was gross.
Like their heads were right where the pee goes.
Okay? Forever and clean.
Yeah, exactly. If Roxanne was there.
And I was like, okay, I guess this is a love scene now,
Shock
right?
makes you super horny. That's what I wrote.
This is where I wrote and called it Louie and Chris because I knew that Adam Sandler was
But also, everyone's just getting fucking randy in this movie. Madeline Kahn gets.
I like how they're just like pairing people off too. Like that person, they'll be with someone.
They hate each other. They're gonna fuck.
Yeah.
Like they like he literally didn't help her get out of the elevator and basically said she could die in the elevator.
Yeah, he literally said, like if anyone else, I would have helped you. You can die in the elevator.
Yeah. And then they were having sex.
And then they were fucking. But he also said, "What can I do you for?" And that was what
She was like, "My husband used to say that." Also they kept making a joke about no, it was crazy. No, I think she had they just threw caution to the wind because she was like stuck in the elevator and then was in that situation and she was just like,
let's
fuck
fuck on this beach that's like
women
that's like 15
need
feet.
sex.
That's
obviously women need it.
15 feet away from where we were, by the way. Like they didn't go very far. They crossed the street and then down to the beach and then
just fucked on the beach.
In the sand in a semi-busy looking street.
Also well lit. Like it was kind of scary. You couldn't see like any of the stars or anything because it's just very well lit there.
More well lit than when in broad daylight the lights went out in that place and everything was pitch black.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm like, there was windows. What the fuck happened?
Like, did the sun go out?
Yeah, was there an eclipse at the same time?
Like someone did Dumbledore put our up or something? What the fuck happened here?
No.
So yeah, they put Gary Shandling gets killed. They put his body in a tree. And they basically, and I love how she explains
Yeah,
it,
burlap
like,
sack
glue,
that they had lying
burlap
around.
sack, and we stuck the branches in, it was fine. And then they're like, oh, we're gonna take him, where were they gonna take, just put him under
Just put him on the beach.
Under
under
the
the
boardwalk.
under the
Yeah.
boardwalk, right.
No, under the boardwalk.
Under.
On the
No,
boardwalk,
just
like
leave
a
his
Christmas
body
tree.
on the boardwalk,
No,
right.
they're gonna put him up like a decoration, and then when they found him, it would be too late to charge him with murder.
Right, okay. So, but what I love is that, of course, they get dressed up like,
What?
she's dressed as, like, the Virgin Mary, and then her boyfriend's Santa Claus. Like,
Bum,
how do you not call attention to yourself?
Well, and they were
dressed
carrying,
like all
that's the
these
point though, I
crazy
think, because
people,
he's like, okay, only 4. Okay, then 6 of us.
That was actually a fucking funny part.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, it was.
funny.
No,
and they
yeah.
were caroling and
Yeah.
walking around the body.
I was like,
funny.
this is classic Steve Martin right here. Like Steve Martin's Finest. Even though the rest of the movie you'd fucking hate him,
Yeah.
by the end you're like, okay.
But one of the funniest parts that was, I don't think was intentionally funny, was Rita Wilson after they had this, like, the sex scene. She was like drunk for just like,
Yeah.
like,
Because she got fucked.
I got fucked so good by
Yeah.
Steve Martin.
That's what happened.
Like me, Philip fucked me so good.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what the
Philip.
fuck?
Philip.
What the
Philip.
fuck happened here?
So yeah, then you get to the end. Haley Joel Osment, first movie ever, I
Yeah.
guess, maybe?
Elliot Osment
He was
a
the little
small
kid,
child.
yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck.
Look at that weird face that's gonna
Yeah, what?
age into
Wait,
an
what if
adult
this
weird
is in the
face.
same universe as
I
Sixth
hope
Sense?
so.
Right.
I hope so. If only.
What if he saw a dead Gary Shannon? That was like his first ghost. It's like, hey, I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
a strangle. I can't strangle you.
Yeah.
You're like a
So yeah, so
ghost, I guess.
I thought, so then they get arrested, and
That
I
was
really
very
thought
shallow,
that that's where it was gonna end. I was like,
That
this
would've
is
been a better
just,
ending,
yeah,
honestly.
I was like, but I was like,
Because they're all
oh.
horrible people that deserve
Yeah.
to be arrested.
But then, of course, oh no, it's not done yet. But then you find out he was the strangler.
Well, because remember they're supposed to get a miracle.
Yeah.
That was like a.
No, and they're carrying
They're all
his bag, so they're like,
reading
here's his bag.
Okay. So they catch this strangler who's supposedly
This is a
been
strangler,
strangling.
yeah.
Been strangling. And the reward is $250,000.
Yeah.
So instead of murdering a dude, they get $250,000.
But also they know to see as a struggler because there's rope and kelp and there's seaweed. He's like,
Yeah.
"No, this bag has rope and seaweed. I'm like,
Yeah.
does he just bring seaweed with
Like,
him?
case
Like a
closed.
thing?
Case closed, you murdered the seaside strangler.
No, yeah,
That's
they tell
fine.
them right there. They're
Yeah.
like, don't worry
You
about
can
it.
murder criminals
Yeah.
as long as they have bounties. It's fine. Everyone knows that.
What the fuck?
I was like, okay. I thought when I was like, okay, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, we're trying to wrap this up all happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this is a Steve Martin movie. I can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
in his contract.
we're-
He
instead
can't
of-
go to jail on a movie.
So instead of ending it right there, could have ended right there.
They could have.
Then all of a sudden they're having a baby. Zero contractions throughout this whole fucking
All right,
thing.
I forgot about that.
And she goes, I know the baby's
of course,
coming.
Of course.
But also,
No, you fucking
they
don't.
also mentioned that.
Oh,
that
yeah,
he's
that
only been
the
out of jail for
baby's not
7
his
months.
because he's only been in jail. But
that was a
also-
running joke through the whole movie, technically.
But also,
I said earlier in the movie, too.
he just got out of jail.
Well, they don't mention it that part.
So
but
he's
like,
an
that's
ex-con
kind of
that you're not like serious with. Clearly, you two can't stand each other. So why did you even bring him back into your life? Like you should have kicked him out months ago.
Well, it seemed like he was trying to get back into her life,
Yeah.
like including getting a gun to force her
Oh
back.
my god!
Yeah.
Right? Oh my
That's
god!
a bad idea.
God.
Like a revolver, and at that point I was like, wait, what the fuck? And I guess because the dog tranquilizers wore off, and so
Yeah.
he became crazy.
But-
Oh yeah, I remember that part.
He overdosed on dog tranquilizers. Every
But this movie has a happy ending, guys, because Steve Martin
jerk off.
and Catherine, Philip and Catherine, Philip's like, well, let's get married.
Oh my god! Yeah, I forgot. About
I
that.
literally
They fucked once!
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
but
yeah,
this is
it's
not
magic.
only that. Not
Maybe
only
they're just
that.
magic
Before
parts, you know,
this,
like-
before this, yes, they had just fucked and she got all like drunk on his love or whatever. But before that,
Yeah.
she hated him for a little bit.
Yeah.
Before that,
And he was getting married.
Yeah,
He was engaged.
yeah. Before
This is
that,
someone else.
this is in one day. Before that, she was also in love with him and he was engaged to someone else. Like what the fuck is wrong with you? And she was literally the one who told him, like,
Let's
you
get
were good
married.
on the phone, you're terrible, like, in person.
And he still was. He didn't
But
change.
not to me. Like,
He didn't change. He was still
No, because
shitty.
she got sexy.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah.
Adam Sandler was, like, into her, so then he got jealous.
Jealous.
And then he had the one good scene where he
But I mean that was
said
pretty.
stuff.
That was also pretty true though. Like any guy, like when they feel like, oh, that girl's interested in me, I'm now interested in
Yeah,
her.
right.
Like, easy, let's do it.
Philip.
Good old Philip.
So
Not the best Steve Martin movie. That might
I
be the
didn't
worst
hate it.
Steve Martin
I
movie.
didn't
I
hate
didn't hate it either.
I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the end credits music was, but the rest they have
the music was good.
The
Yeah.
beginning of this movie was slow and shitty. But when Steve Martin really got into it,
the end was fast and shitty. You're right. Yeah,
but when Steve Martin got into his own, it was funny enough. It wasn't like his best movie ever, but it definitely wasn't the worst movie we've watched. But also, like, this in movie the last
did
2
not.
weeks.
Besides the Christmas tree MacGuffin thing, didn't have to be a Christmas movie either. Like it was just like
no, it didn't.
Okay,
but they had like the whole Virgin Mary thing.
Yeah, but that was just for like had it in the runtime.
Well,
let's make it a Christmas movie. Like they had a script right there. They're like, let's make it a Christmas movie. It'll sell gangbusters.
Well, Madeline Kahn's character was leaving to see her sister or something.
No, to see her dead husband's sister,
yeah.
not hit her dead sister's husband.
Yeah, which was like a funny joke.
I did like the part though. She's in the fucking stuck in the elevator and she's playing like the little horn and then she's using like the beatbox and making.
She like had a little song going.
Yeah, she was like.
There were some entertaining parts. They were not laugh out loud, but they were like make you chuckle, make you smile. At least this movie was definitely not the worst movie we've seen.
It's not. I wouldn't call it. It's not going to be a Christmas classic. I probably won't watch it again, but it wasn't terrible. So.
But I didn't mind watching it for once.
I'm glad I watched it. I didn't even know it existed until that night, and I was so excited. We had to. Oh god, no.
Do you remember? Do you remember the job of Adam Sandler's character?
He's a lawyer.
No, he's a professional T-shirt writer.
Yeah. That's right.
Like, I'm a writer. Like, what do you do?
He was an artist, but like he was only did t-shirts. But they did the side of the building at the end or something.
Yeah, they did like the little picture
mural there.
They were actually very bad.
They were terrible. I was like, oh, we can see why you don't get these jobs.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
But he was just a lovable little Jew.
What a fine looking Jew.
He fucked the shock out of first. My favorite thing I wrote in here.
Like, right in the bathroom.
Okay.
No
like,
questions asked.
Gross.
Shock just makes you DTF.
Arguably, that is rape.
Everyone knows shock makes you DTF.
I mean, if we're being honest with our own like personal selves and knowing our natures, I feel like high anxiety situations would make me want to like just do it. Yeah.
We just killed it on this.
I remember they do that in Cabin in the Woods where she's just like, if I was about to die, I'd want to fuck the shit out of someone, and I was like, oh Jesus.
Anybody, but also.
But also, what's your name?
I understand though.
Like anyone, wink. Anyone?
Yeah, it was
I don't want to burn this one, to be honest.
No.
Like, I don't think I'd watch it again per se, but I didn't mind watching it all.
Roast it. Roast this movie.
Over an open fire.
Yeah. Mixed nuts.
It'll still burn. That's all I care about.
Boom!
That was a big jerking dick. Bye, guys.
This movie.